Let's bring in now an advisor to Ukraine's defense minister. Yuriy is joining us from Western Ukraine. Yuriy, thank you so much for taking the time to give us an update. We've been watching this footage of the missile attack on the shopping mall in Kyiv. It is incredible to see just the sheer impact and, of course, the loss of life here. Could you give me a sense, in your assessment, what the Russians were actually targeting when they struck the mall? Some say it might have been a nearby factory, or do you believe it was a specific target on civilians?
Good evening, and thank you for inviting me. From the very first day of this war, we knew and we saw evidence of a simple fact. Russia is a terrorist state, which is targeting civilian targets, which is hitting with their missiles residential areas, kindergartens, schools, hospitals. So in the case of the missile strike at Kremenchuk shopping mall, which took the lives of a minimum of 18 people and many more were injured, this is another evidence that Russia is not going to stop. Russia continues to employ these terror tactics. And this is why we believe that the whole civilized world has to recognize Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism. Some countries have already done that. Some countries are planning to do. And it's a very logical step to take following these developments.
Yuriy, I have to ask you, when the Russians exited Kyiv and there was sort of the sense of safety or some kind of return to normalcy in Kyiv, and that's the conversations we've been having with people on the ground. But do you think there was a false sense of security all these weeks? Were you shocked by this attack? Did you anticipate that Kyiv would once again become a target?
Well, this latest target, this was a shopping mall in Kremenchuk, not in Kyiv. But indeed, Kyiv was a target of another attack just 3 days ago. And another city, another Ukrainian city, Mykolaiv, was a target again today in the early hours of the morning. And a 6-year-old child was removed from the rubble, a dead child. Overall, 341 children were killed in this war by now. The intensity of the missile strikes, as you know, has increased tremendously during the last couple of days. Russians are shooting over 50 missiles a day, targeting different Ukrainian cities, not just those in the east. Any Ukrainian city today is a target for a Russian missile strike. This is why our political and military leadership continues to say that we need more modern air defense systems. We need more anti-aircraft and anti-missile systems, because we are fighting for the values of the Western democracy and freedom. We are fighting for the whole world. All we need is, assistance, military assistance from our international partners.